What's going on? Well, today started, well, it was actually yesterday, and I'll show y'all. As you can tell, I got the cab up on the landscaping truck. I had an oil leak yesterday, so I tried to fix it, and now I'm going to try something else to fix it because I can't find the parts for this thing because it's kind of weird. It's a 2000 model UD 1400 Nissan, and my other box truck, as you can see back behind me, is an NPR Isuzu. There's a bunch of them out there, but this model right here, I don't guess they made so many of them, and it's hard to find parts. So let me turn the camera around. I'll show y'all what we got going on. It's a good thing I know how to work on some stuff. So if I can show y'all, off the turbo right there, where my finger's pointed, there's a line that runs up, comes around, and goes all the way down. You can see it right there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that line comes back up and goes across. Well, where it connects to is right here where my finger is, and then it connects up here, right there. Well, where this thing, let me show y'all. It's a hard line. This is it right here. And so where it connects to, it's got a hole, right? I mean, it's the smallest hole of everything. And this is a low pressure oil line, so it ain't got like high pressure on it or nothing. So I'm gonna try this stuff right here that I bought from the store, Steel Stick. And they informed me that this thing could get so hard that you can grind it off. Like it turns into steel, kind of. Like a really hard bond. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this over here to the shop. And we're going to see if we can bond this thing together. It takes an hour to set up. Yesterday, we noticed it leaking. Actually, I didn't notice it. Roberto was. I crunked the truck up, backed it up, and he backs his car down the side. And I was just sitting there waiting on him till he got here, had it running. And he came over, and he's like, Lee, you got oil leak. And I said, what? He said, yeah, it's oil leak. So I walked around there and looked at it, and I figured out that this line had a little crack in it. It was leaking. So what we did yesterday, I don't advise y'all to do that, but I knew it was a low-pressure oil line. So I wrapped it, I wrapped it up really good with some electrical tape. Got a little heat put on it to melt it into it a little bit onto the line. And we ran it all day like that yesterday. I mean, we kept an eye on it, kept checking the oil, seeing if it was leaking at anybody's place. And it wasn't. It held up pretty good, but I knew it wasn't going to hold up for a long period of time. So I'm going to try this and see if it'll hold up and last a lot longer. Brazing, braze on it. And what that is, like back in the day, a lot of people would use like a coat hanger, some kind of copper flux line, and heat it and melt it on there, and it'll cause a big bond or whatever. But you can go to like a radiator repair shop or something. We don't have one of them anymore in town. They closed down a long time ago. So my closest one to go to is like an hour and a half away. And I'm like, So I went to Napa parts store, and I was actually going in there and showed them the line and see if they can match me up a line. And they said they couldn't. And then we got to talking, and I said, well, what about JB welding it? And he goes, well, the JB Weld came out with something called Steel Stick. He said, and that sucker will bond on and get super hard, and it'll turn back into steel, kind of. And I said, all right, give it to me. I'll at least try it. And I don't need but just a small piece of it. So let's set the camera up and let's see what we can do here. All right, guys, here it is. It's JB Weld Steel Stick, Steel Reinforcement Epoxy Putty. So what it is it's got a outer area that's light gray, and then it's got an inner area that's dark gray. So you're just going to pinch that off, rub it really good, mix it in together, and that's what's going to cause it to bond together. And then we're just going to rub it over that. the little smallest crack ever. What that thing was, it's a super small crack. When you first crank it up, it don't even leak. Once that oil heats up, it expands that little pipe a little bit, and that's what's causing it to leak. So let's grab a little pinch of this. That's crazy. That's all I need. Wrap that back up. Now we'll roll this around real good. Mix it together. Said it sets up in like 5 minutes. So you just want to rub a little putty. I can show y'all. Man, this stuff stinks too. Take this little piece of paper I got here and I'm gonna wipe it down real good. Make sure there ain't no oil or nothing on it. There we go. And we're just gonna rub it onto the pipe. As you can see, just puttied it on there. And we'll let it set for an hour. And see what she does. See how hard she actually gets. We'll put a little bit more on this back side. All right, guys, we'll give that an hour. Like I said, just a little bit's all I needed. I'll putty it all the way around that pipe real good, a little layer, and then we'll come back in an hour and we'll see how hard it is. And then we'll install it back onto the truck and hopefully fix my leak. And what I'll do is I'll pull the pressure washer out here and I'll pressure wash all up under the engine bay and everything, get it really good and clean. That way I can check in a day or two if there's a lot of oil up there or not. So guys, always, you know, check your equipment out and everything. That's something I tend to not do such a good job at. But if you can work on your own stuff out here, you're ahead of the game, big time ahead of the game. So I took that off yesterday, taped it up. Roberto was like, couldn't believe it, what all I was doing, you know, hands greasy. I was all up in the engine and he was worried to death. So I told him I work on stuff all the time, man. So I ain't scared of it. So let's see if this works. At least it might get me by until I can find a dealership or something that has the actual hard line, because I would love to just replace the hard line, but we're in the season of going. And so if this will fix me up until I can find something to replace it, I will. Okay, guys, it's been a couple hours. Came down here and looked at it. Man, it's bonded pretty hard. So hopefully it just keeps getting harder and harder. You know, they said it was it's gonna be as hard as steel, but who knows how long it's gonna work. But we're gonna install it back on the truck. I know I can't really show y'all me installing it because it's pretty tight fit in here. But if I need a wrench or anything, I'll yell at one of y'all to hand it for me or something. Maybe one of y'all can hold the flashlight for me like your old man used to tell you to do it right. So I'm just playing. But let's get it installed back in here. Very tight fit. Nice. Another thing I wanted to show y'all too. Don't lose your copper washers. That's like a banjo fitting is what they call it. And the nut has a hole in it too, so that's where the oil runs through it and everything. So you want to have a copper fitting on one side and a copper fitting on the other side. Now try not to make any extra words or whatever while I'm trying to put this in, because I don't have no room hardly at all. So If you hear something, kind of hold your ears, but let's get it installed. Them fittings are 9/16, by the way, and the ones with the holders to hold it in place, they're 1/2 inch. All right, so now we got that in. Let's check the oil because I think I lost a lot of oil. Doing that. Probably not much because it wouldn't crunk up. It's on the low end side. We might be all right. Oh yeah, she's still good. All right, now I'll crank the truck up. We'll see if it's got any leaks. All right, she ain't leaking. So I'm gonna let it run for about 10-15 minutes, come back out here and check it again. Hopefully that solves that problem, that oil leak. I'll let it run for a couple minutes and then I'll get the pressure washer, pull the truck over there. I won't show y'all that, spray it off and everything. So guys, don't be scared to work on your own equipment, your own stuff. Yes, there for the longest, we're gonna keep our eyes on this. Check it every day, check the fluids every day, check for leaks, and go from there. But it didn't keep us out of work, is what I'm saying. If I'd have had to take this to a dealership, them to get the parts and do all that, it might be 3 months before I get my truck back. So, am I a little worried about that little steel stick? Yes. But I'm gonna keep my eye on it, keep a watch on it, keep a real close check on it, and if I see that it keeps doing or whatever, hey, it's called running and watch it. We used to learn that in the mines. I mean, stuff broke there all the time, and if we push fix it, that's what we'd do. So I am gonna look up and definitely try to find one. If I can, I'll put a new hard line on it, but as for now, it's working. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, go from there. All right, guys.